Coco was, quote, a little bit of a hot mess.
Oh.
No!
Oh no!
But damn, is she one cute good girl.
Hey guys, my name's Dan, and today's reaction comes from Dead Meat. This is Prey 2022 kill count. Now, I don't really have too much free time recently, so I've been looking for a reason to be able to watch this movie, and I finally got it with this kill count. Very excited to talk about it, and even more excited to find out how exactly this was made. But before we get into it though, if you enjoy other Dead Meat videos, I recommend to a ton of them for you, and many more to come in the future. And if you want to see future reactions that I do, you can go right below this video, click that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, to let you see past, present, and future reactions that I do, but also some of the algorithm. Helps to get more eyes on my channel. Speaking of getting eyes on channels, go on over and support Dead Meat if you haven't already. I'll leave a link to that along with many other things down in the description. And without any further ado, let's go.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James H. Anise, and today we're looking at Prey, released on Hulu in 2022. Prey is the fifth entry in the Predator franchise and serves as a prequel to the previous films. It trades in muscly mercs for Comanche warriors who play cat and mouse with a primitive Preddy boy on the Great Plains. While I think the first three hypermasculine Predator films have a lot to offer, each in their own unique way, the stripped-back tension of Prey is a refreshing reinvention of the franchise's formula. As a kid, writer-director Dan Trachtenberg liked Predator, but thought it was missing something: an on-screen depiction of Billy's last stand, as the Native American character went toe-to-toe with the Yautja. Trachtenberg, who directed 10 Cloverfield Lane and The Boys pilot, isn't of Native descent himself, but he was guided by producer Jane Myers, a member of the Comanche and Blackfeet tribes. She helped him hire an almost fully Native cast and many Native crew members, who kicked off production with a pipe ceremony. This elevation of Native cast and crew went all the way down to production assistants to help train rising talent in the film industry. You can hear more about how awesome this is in our podcast episode about Prey, where we were joined by our friend Joey Clift, and we all wore silly little hats. It was fun. Let's go ahead and say a quick prayer for the dying.
Did somebody say reindeer?
Oh my God, Santa!
Santa's
No, I
orange.
said prayer.
Oh, well, you know, tomato to reindeer, as I always say.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hey, bet you're wondering what I'm doing here. I have a gift for you.
Ooh!
The gift of education!
Oh!
Thanks to our sponsor, NordVPN. Did you know that during the holidays, you have to be extra careful with your cybersecurity?
Oh, yeah, definitely, Santa. Because there are things like man-in-the-middle attacks, where people use seemingly safe free Wi-Fi to collect your data.
That's right, my lad. And do you know how to prevent these attacks?
I sure do, Santa.
NordVPN.
Yeah, all you gotta do is look for the HTTPS and the lock icon in the address bar, and then you know your site's secure. Or you can also use a VPN to encrypt your data.
Well, aren't you a wise one? You know what? You're going on my secure list.
Yes! That's what I always wanted.
I know, you weird little boy. Now, tell me what else you know.
Well, there's phishing attacks where fake links can mimic banks, social media sites, and even people. NordVPN is great at protecting against those too, thanks to its threat protection feature.
Incredible!
It's
It
great.
sounds like with all the tools you already have, your online data is very well protected. Why, someone would have to impersonate a beloved holiday figure and then break into your house in order to get your information.
Oh no! No! Santa's
Yeah, I guess
orange!
they would.
Yeah. Well, that's all for me. Always remember to believe in the power of Christmas!
Bye, Santa! That guy look familiar to you?
little
Anyway,
bit.
you can secure your internet at nordvpn.com/deadmeat, and that URL will get you the best deal with not only a 30-day money-back guarantee, but also 4 extra months of service for free. That's nordvpn.com/deadmeat for 4 free months when you sign up. Man, these ads keep interrupting my transitions, when all I want to do is get to the kills.
True.
The movie begins with a bilingual bedtime story.
Soe sakatsara. Bia mupits ikimai. A long time ago, it is said, a monster came here.
It's 1719 in the Great Plains, and Comanche native Nadu is sharpening up her deer stalking skills. Careful, girl, don't want to go out like Robert Baratheon. After freeing her good boy Suddy from a bastard bear trap, Nadu spots some fire in the sky. It's a bird. It's a thing. Oh, wait, no. It's a title card.
There it
Nadu
is.
thinks that shooting star was a thunderbird, a legendary creature in Native American folklore. She takes it as a sign that she's ready for her Katamiya, a coming-of-age hunt that'll prove she's a worthy warrior.
You really think you're ready? You want to hunt something that's hunting you.
Nadu wants to be a hunter, like her hawk-eyed older brother Tabe, but their mother would prefer she put her efforts towards medicine, leave the fighting to the boys. A really cool long one-take shows off the Comanche camp, where all is not well. A local boy named Puhi has been dragged away by a mountain lion. Nadu decides to tag along with the young men to track him down. She meets resistance, but Tabe stands up for her, saying Nadu's good with medicine and can track the kidnapping cat.
You have to find that cat now.
I will.
I know. Because you have to.
Suddy ends up being the goodest boy of this boy trip when he helps them track down the injured Puhi. Suddy was played by a dog named Coco, who had no previous acting experience and was adopted for the movie 2 months before shooting began. Coco's breed, the Carolina dog, directly descends from wild dogs indigenous to the time period, another strive for accuracy. Apparently, Coco was, quote, a little bit of a hot mess.
Oh.
No!
Oh no!
Damn, is she one cute good girl. Nadu proves her mettle with some makeshift medicine that keeps Puhi alive while cooling his blood. Tabe leaves to hunt the lion and tells his sister to take the stretcher back to camp, but she thinks there's more than a big kitty out there, since she just found some freaky footprints and a freshly peeled snake. Earlier, a newly arrived predator watched a series of predators and preys before killing the snake. Writer-director Dan Trachtenberg says this is the first time this particular predator has been to Earth, which means he's still figuring out which species would make the most dangerous game. I know there was some confusion, but I don't think Trachtenberg meant that this was the first time the species had come to Earth. And that means all you AVP fans can sleep easy, knowing those movies might still be canon. And why shouldn't they? Everyone want to see Lex hook up with the Pred Man. Nadu ventures back to warn Tabe about this hypothetical foe, but he's too deep in the den to listen. They have found the home of the mountain lion. His hunting buddy Paka wants to go in bows ablazing, but Nadu thinks it's wiser to play it slow. Tabe backs up his sister so she can prove herself.
When the lion comes, you tell that thing, this is as far as you go. No more. This is it.
Tabe prepares a meaty morsel as bait while Nadu and Paka prepare an ambush in the trees. Paka talks smack for a bit before a cat gets his tongue, killing him off screen and forcing Nadu into single-player mode.
Legit, the first thing that got me to jump in this movie.
She holds her own for a bit, but gets distracted by an alien observer, causing her to fall and get knocked down for the count. Nadu wakes up next to her mother, having been carried all the way back home by her brother. He's gone ahead and slain the lion by himself, earning him respect from his elders and a brand new title. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new war chief of the tribe, Tabe!
There it
Nadu's
is.
still convinced there's more dangerous game in the wilderness, but Tabe tells her she's not ready to track it down on her own. Like many a rebellious young sibling, Nadu is determined to prove her brother wrong, and heads into the wilderness with her pupner in crime. Prey is full of beautiful landscape shots, with untarnished nature as far as the eye can see. It was shot in Alberta, Canada, on the Stoney Nakoda First Nation Reserve. Nadu's actor Amber Midthunder cherished the experience to be around tribes similar to her own.
I'm a Assiniboine Sioux, or I'm Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota, so my reservation is in Montana, but I grew up in New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
So the tribes down there are not anything like my culture, because I was raised still like with my culture and with my traditions and stuff. So to be shooting in a place where the people there have the same or like similar culture to me was like such a huge gift.
Trachtenberg and cinematographer Jeff Cutter aimed for a naturalistic lighting so they could, quote, let the beauty speak for itself. For night shoots, they'd mostly light the cast with their own torches, though for some wider shots, they'd brilliantly add LED strips to add more definition to their faces. Nadu upgrades her axes with rustic rope and goes about gathering intel about the mystery monster. The classic fluorescent predator blood was made by combining glow stick juice and KY jelly. Talk about a wild night. Nadu discovers a field full of skinned bison, and at first you might think it's the Pretty Boys doing, since the Meowcha always seem to have a flaying fetish. But Nadu finds the butt of a cigar nearby, and everyone knows Predator more of a hookah guy. This slaughter was because of non-indigenous hunters, much like the real-life near-extinction of the bison. Predhead's still on the prowl, doing more research about the food chain. He picks a fight with a wabbit-hunting wolf, who tussles hard enough to earn the honor of a signature spine ripping. This sequence was added late in the schedule, visual and filmed near Los Angeles. The Rocky Mountains in the background are digital effects. The predator pockets the pooch's skull as a souvenir and recamos before leaving his little hunting cave. While tracking the Pred Man, Nadu walks into some mud that's basically quicksand, #1 danger in Kid Brains and Sega Genesis games. In the nail-biting scene, she just barely manages to pull herself out before becoming a mud mummy. She washes off by a creek where she discovers a big brown bear. I know some people complained about the CG animals in Prey, but I don't think they look bad. And besides, it keeps real animals from having to be on set. No one wants to be on set. It sucks. VFX Studio MPC created the animals and more than 600 digital shots for Prey, working under VFX supervisor Chris Uyedi. A busted bow attracts the bear's attention, and Nadu is forced to take cover inside a beaver dam. Before the bear can turn her into a Leonardo DiCaprio, it's baited into battle with an invisible foe. The cloaked predator makes grisly work of the bear, gutting it while holding it overhead. Fuck yeah! A terrified Nadu nopes out of there and rides the river to greener pastures. Nadu's played by Amber Midthunder, though there ain't nothing mid about her. She's the perfect person to tell the David vs. Goliath story Trachtenberg wanted to tell, in contrast to the Goliath vs. Goliath story of the original. Her audition involved a physical obstacle course element, and she wound up doing many stunts on her own, like going down this actual ice-cold river. But it wasn't just her physicality. Midthunder had to be emotive too.
We prepared a scene in English and then Comanche, and then he asked me to do it without words.
Oh, nice.
He was like, I don't know, this might be really weird, this might be really bad, but don't say anything, but do the whole scene.
Obviously, she killed it.
That's
Her
cool.
face acting is phenomenal. Back on dry land, Nadu runs into a group of Tabe's friends who have been out looking for her. She tells them about the thing that looked like a monster and killed a bear. They're total buttheads in response.
How come it didn't kill you?
How come it didn't kill you? She refuses to go back home, intent on tracking down the predator, but she's rebuffed and battered by the band of boys. Balls. Nadu's tied up and disarmed, leaving her vulnerable when the group hears a familiar clicking sound.
There it is.
They'd probably shit their pants if they could see that classic Preddy vision. Well, actually, that looks much better than it used to. Technology! A guy named Wasabi gets targeted by a trio of lasers, which in the other films would normally mean a blast from a shoulder-mounted plasma caster. But this is the first Predator film without that trademark weapon, because these lasers instead lead to a Boromir's worth of arrows. This Predator's working with earlier versions of their well-known weapons. That's because, as we finally see, we're dealing with the so-called feral Predator. This mofo wears one of its trophy skulls as a freaking mask, since the filmmakers wanted to make him scary again, and the old Predator mask had become too familiar. Aside from just a couple of shots where he's played by Kyle Strout, Predator's played by Dane DeLegro.
Dane, you are our Predator.
I am. Not a good pickup line.
Dane had played basketball overseas before becoming an actor, and he threw himself into this role, doing all the stunts and motion capture himself. He's so far the shortest actor to play a Predator, at only, big air quotes there, 6 foot 8 inches. For comparison, original Predator actor Kevin Peter Hall stood 7 foot 2.5 inches.
Oh, wow.
These are big boys! During the ensuing fight, Nadu dashes out to retrieve her weapons and free herself from her ties. The Predator delimbs one poor soul before brutally decapitating him. His buddy tags in for a tenacious toe tap, but he's quickly shown he has no legs to stand on. There, fella. Take a little log nap.
So
Nadu
good!
flees into a nearby field where Itzy, the last member of the hunting party, is hiding. He shushes her in a nod to the original film when Mac told Dylan to STFU. Nadu saves the guy from a homing headshot, but the Predator catches up and pounces on the archer, tearing him up in the tall grass. Nadu reaches the forest on the other side, but gets caught in a bear trap, just like Suddy did earlier. The defenseless Nadu provides little sport for the Predator, so he decides to pass her by. We've seen them do that before with unarmed children and, pregnant chicks. But Nadu's still fair game for this gaggle of French fur trappers, the ones who set the traps in the first place. Oh man, hope they're not psycho killers.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait?
She comes to from that rifle
that.
bang in a cage inside the trapper camp, her head ringing and her ankle looking all kinds of nasty. She notices one trapper, credited as Big Beard, smoking the same kind of cigar she found near the bison, exposing these merry campers as the perpetrators of the massacre. The Frenchmen have an Italian interpreter named Raphael Adolini, who had actually made an appearance in the 1996 comic Predator 1718. Raphael reveals he can speak Comanche, Nadu's language.
You are Comanche, yes?
Of course, to us, it sounds like English, since the dialogue from Nadu and her tribe is delivered in both English and subtitled Comanche. 2 months before Prey's release date, Hulu greenlit a full Comanche dub, so the cast re-recorded all their lines in Comanche while the movie was still being edited. The Comanche dub of the film is available to stream on Hulu, and is the first feature film ever available in the language. Meanwhile, all the French is left unsubtitled, putting audience members who don't speak that language in the same position as our protagonist. It turns out these Frenchies have also encountered the Predator.
That detail.
When Nadu refuses to tell them what she knows about it, they bring out a secret prisoner, Tabe, whom they captured off screen. Big Beard tortures Tabe by slicing open his chest, an intense inverse of Billy's pre-Predator warm-up in the original film. The trappers string up Nadu and Tabe as bait in this Silent Hill-looking valley of dead trees. 2 trappers act as lookouts on the ridge, but fail to notice their friends getting diced up behind them during a just off-screen Predator attack. One of them manages to run into the valley, only for a javelin to straight up rip the skull straight out of the guy's head. Goddamn.
Gnarly.
Nadu says the Predator won't attack her since it doesn't consider her a threat. Tabe says that's bullshit and admits he was only able to kill the mountain lion after she weakened it, which she did as she fell. Her confidence may be restored, but Nadu's still worried they might be outclassed.
I don't know that this thing can be killed.
Tabe reassures her it can with some Schwarzenegger swagger.
If it bleeds,
Please.
we can kill it.
Yeah.
We can kill it.
What's great about these nods to the original is that they don't feel forced. Actor Dakota Beavers really makes that line his own. This was actually Beavers' first acting role, and he didn't realize it'd be so big. He was told he'd be auditioning for a minor character. Despite the starring role, Beavers, like his co-stars, did many of his own stunts, and kept it secret when he injured himself to keep production rolling.
There's a scene where I'm kind of laying horizontally with the ground, and I pulled an abdominal muscle really bad.
Ooh.
So that was actually really painful, but I didn't tell anybody. Just for that same reason. I wanted to do it all.
What a badass.
The Predator uncloaks for an awesome hero shot, only to trip on a bear trap. How embarrassing. The French men take the opportunity to net their quarry, but the Predator, y'all, you're gonna have to try harder than that. What follows is a truly kick-ass scene of Predator domination, and I don't want to count these kills wrong, so I thought I'd bring on the expert. What up, Dane?
What's happening?
Oh,
Hey, this is
snap!
crazy. I feel like this is like meeting my childhood hero. This is unbelievable. I can't believe I'm
thanks,
here.
man. This is crazy. I'm meeting the Predator.
Thanks for having me.
Holy
I'm
crap,
meeting
this is
the Dead Meat
amazing.
James right here. This is crazy. Unbelievable.
Dane is so tall, we had to stick him in this back corner just to fit on camera. It's like, if you come over here.
He really is.
Out of frame.
Yeah, it
Oh
doesn't
my
work.
god,
Yeah.
I can't see half
Oh,
his
man.
face.
Thank you for bringing the mask and
Combi stick?
Combi stick,
Yeah. These
yeah.
are, I took them off my mantle next to my TV, and here they are. They had to be in the
This is
video.
so freaking
Hell yeah, they
awesome,
did.
man.
All right, dude, why don't you take us through these kills?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, to start off, I murder these 2 trappers at once with an overarching stab from my wrist blades. Then take out my net ball and absolutely mince this guy to pieces.
Hell yeah, you do, dude. And you finish off that quartet of kills by showing a dude what happens when he brings a knife to a bear trap fight.
Next, I go on a 300 style slow-mo killing spree, hacking and slashing 3 fur trappers like it was just another Tuesday. I think it was a Wednesday when we shot that. And then after flipping a hatchet back on a 4th guy to kill him, I use my badass shield to lop off a 5th dude's tree topper.
I
That
love
was
this
probably my
next part,
favorite.
man. When one brave asshole tries to straight up shoot you.
Yeah, it doesn't work. The musket ball ricochets off my mask and back into his face.
So this whole burnt glade sequence was shot in a forest made by the production designer Carl Lindstrom, right? Using about 100 trees.
Yeah, took us like 2 weeks to shoot that, and they pumped so much fog into this field that you couldn't see anything at all. We shot in the middle of the day. It was like 96 degrees, but it felt like early dawn in the morning.
You literally blocked out the sun with fog.
Yeah, I heard someone said that there was like a helicopter that came because they thought there was like a forest fire or something. But I was too busy killing people. I don't remember that.
Yes, you were, man.
So,
And thank you for coming by to help me count those kills.
well, thank you. It was a pleasure committing them for you.
All right, have that on video now.
I appreciate that.
That is
Bye,
so
Dane.
great, man.
Pretty Boy gets tired of grinding XP, so he decides to end this excursion with a new toy. These Flayette discs were practical creations that were then animated by the VFX team. Trachtenberg considers them a precursor of the nuclear wrist bomb. Big Beard wisens up and runs away from the floating death discs, an instinct severely missing in his compatriots. They're dispatched off screen with some screaming and a laser light show. Nadu uses her noggin and frees herself and her brother with a nearby bear trap. The siblings decide to separate, with Tabe leaving to wrangle some horses, while Nadu heads back to the camp for her dog, who was captured by the trappers earlier. Nadu sneaks her way back into the trappers' camp, stopping Red Pirate Roberts here from turning this into a John Wick movie. We get an awesome one-take fight scene, during which Nadu scores 4 kills herself, 1 brain skewering, as well as 1, 2, 3 death blows from her hatchet on a string.
Hell yeah, dude.
Damn, Nadu, you should patent that thing. She frees Suddy and then patches herself up, which the Predator is also doing back in the valley. Just put a little band-aid on it, buddy. It'll be alright. Prey's version of the Predator was achieved through a combination of a practical costume and a little bit of CGI. The practical effects were headed by Tom Woodruff Jr. and Alec Gillis of ADI, or Amalgamated Dynamics Inc. These two and their company have done so many movies that have been on this show. Notably, they've been with the Alien series since part 3, with Woodruff donning the Xenomorph costume on various occasions. Here, Dane's wearing a heavy-duty mask and latex suit. The head was sculpted by Joey Orozco, who also did the Wolf Predator in AVP. Thing weighed about 11 pounds.
Oh my god, that thing is huge! You wore that on your face?
Oh yeah.
He even trained his neck for the weight with a thing called the Iron Neck. It was heavy because of all the servo motors needed to manipulate the Predator's facial expressions. The 2 main animatronic heads they used had 27 motors.
Oh my god, that's
Adding
amazing!
to the discomfort, Dane's head is actually in the Predator's neck, and he has to look at the ground to make the Predator look forward. So he couldn't hear anything except the motors, and couldn't see anything except the ground.
The only thing I could see was the bottom of the jaw when I roared. It would open, so then my vision would get smaller.
He literally had to follow trails of sticks on the ground to not run into anything.
That's incredible.
Predator's body, meanwhile, was sculpted by Orozco and Andy Bergholtz, who created the foam latex suit by casting it from a clay mold. When it got wet, it could weigh up to 60 pounds. Not an easy thing to endure in the 90-degree Calgary summer they shot in. Dane was probably much more comfortable when he shot in the motion tracking suit used for the camouflage shots. Finally, the VFX team, led by Ryan Cook of ILM, did some minor digital augmentations, like adding flexibility to the Predman's fingers. You know what they say, it takes a village to raise a Yautja. Nadu is surprised by the arrival of a freshly delegged Raphael, who offers to teach her how to use a gun in exchange for medical attention. The gun he gives her is the same pistol given to Danny Glover at the end of Predator 2.
Oh yeah!
Nadu gives Raphael the same medicine she used earlier on Puhi, which also lowers the user's body temperature. That means he's able to fly under the radar when the Predator arrives with its heat vision. Nadu takes note of this, for she is studious and she is smart. Unfortunately for Raphael, he becomes a pretty floor mat, causing his possum playing to suddenly become very real. Predator turns his attention to the barking Suddy. Man, this dog cannot catch a break. Thankfully, Tabe is here to save the day by demasking the Predator, revealing one ugly motherfucking face. Tabe rings around his rival while Nadu observes that Predator's arrows follow its mask's laser aiming. Her brother manages to land a heavy spear blow, then lays into the alien with the same arrow over and over again. Ha, yeah, Predman, I'd get the fuck out of there too. Nadu wants to dip as well, but Tabe says the Predator needs to be stopped.
This is as far as I go. No more. This is it.
He completes his Billy arc and sacrifices himself to fight the alien aggressor. It's a foreseeable but still heartbreaking fate, especially since he uses the last of his strength to buy his sister time to escape. It's a tough break for Nadu, who goes down to the river to wash away her blood, sweat, and tears. She awakens later to see a familiar face, Big Beard, who managed to survive the Valley Massacre. She gives him a big surprise with a big rock and chops off one of his legs with a folding blade she yoinked from the Yautja. She leaves Big Beard with an unloaded gun and takes some of her chill-down medicine, ensuring that when the Predator arrives, he won't see her. All his attention will be on the Frenchman. He quickly decapitates Big Beard and collects his furry face as a trophy. That gives Nadu the chance to hit the alien with a pistol shot to the back of his head. She steals his mask, setting it up on some rocks for later use, then lures the Predator out using Big Beard's leg as bait. She manages to get the drop on him and even tricks the Predster into chopping off his own arm. Y'all Predators really gotta watch it with them weapons, man. Nadu nearly loses her head to the retractable shield routine, but recovers and rips off one of the Predator's mandibles and stabs him with it. Holy shit, Nadu, you're metal as fuck! With a little assistance from Suddy, Nadu trips her opponent into some muck, revealing they're in the same bog she almost drowned in earlier. With the Predator inching towards her trap, Nadu stops speaking Comanche and starts speaking Dutch.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Do it.
Come on. Do it. Do it!
We see that this is where she set up Pretty Boy's helmet, and that she's determined to follow her brother's mantra.
This is as far as you go. No more.
This is it.
When the Predator fires an arrow at her, it follows the laser tracking and is returned to sender, putting down this one alien invasion.
Bye-bye.
Nadu celebrates her victory with a war cry. A glow stick covered Nadu makes her way back to camp, the Predator's head editor clutched in her hand. She shows them Raphael's pistol and warns of incoming danger, and the movie ends with her mother looking on as she's declared the tribe's new war chief. How many people were laid to a rustic rest in this unplugged Predator movie? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Oh, no, James?
Dane, quit fooling around, man.
Sorry, dude. I couldn't help myself.
That's all right. Hey, I'm actually feeling kind of tired. Could you just, like, carry me to the numbers?
Oh, that's amazing.
I counted 32 kills in Prey, consisting of 31 human male victims and one big bad predator. That gives us this period pie chart. And although that may seem like a lot of kills, it actually falls short of most of the other Predator films. It's also fewer than the second Alien vs. Predators, while tying the number of victims in the first. With a runtime of 100 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 3.13 minutes. 313! I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to that shield decapitation. It was a brutal and creative use of a new old favorite weapon. Dual Machete for lamest kill will go to Paca, since it's an off-screen kill that wasn't even done by a Predator. Tough luck, dude. And that's it. Prey was released in 2022 to well-deserved acclaim, and hopefully signals a new direction for the franchise. Let's see a samurai version. Next week we're getting Christmassy with Gremlins, but until then, I'm James A. Janice.
That
This
could
has
be
been the Kill Count.
fun.
Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count.
Man, that was so great, man. Just seeing more of how this movie was made me like it that much more. All the effects, seeing all of what they did with all of the animals in it, that was pretty cool. The guy who got hurt but still kept on going was pretty great. See the actual person who played Predator, and he was here. He was in studio with James. That was so freaking cool, and he was a fan of him. So awesome. As far as for the movie itself, I absolutely loved it. The kills were just freaking fantastic. I love the story being told. The whole David versus Goliath thing was actually pretty well done here. As opposed to what he said with being with the first Predator movie, being with a huge character versus another huge character. In this instance, the final kill of the Predator actually made it seem just that much more impactful, considering the advantage the Predator had. So that's going to do it for me here. And before I go, though, I want to give a huge shout out to all my $5 now supporters on Patreon: Luchador Cruising, Wolverine 310, Multi-Disturb 666, Jordan Bird, Lauren Davenport, Capster Cronage, Amber K, Raymond Bright, Joshy, Roadrunner 1967, Chris Curtis, Jeremiah McCarroll, Jose Acevedo, and Love Row. And if you too like to have your name read at each every one of my videos, plus many other fun goodies, you'll be having me react to a past kill count or two, or checking out daily anime reactions, please head on over to patreon.com/TDMReactor. Link will be right there, and a description with many different tiers for you to choose from. And if you'd like to have an easier way to get in contact with me, we talk a little bit more about Dead Meat, we talk a little bit more about this movie, please head on over and join the channel Discord. We'll also chat with others about other reactions that I've done, find out just a little bit more about me, and about this week's reaction schedule. And with that being said, comment down below, let me know what did you think about Prey. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Also want to see a past reaction I've done to other Dead Meat videos. Got a nice playlist right over there for you. Share this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, your notification bell because I put new videos every single day. And I'll see you guys next time.